All right, I think we're live now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our presentation slash webinar on with the Cisco collaboration team. So for today, we have Nikki Monter from the Cisco Collab team. We have myself and Bruna from the DNH Cisco team, kind of supporting the presentation. So we started off with the introduction of the team here. So our Cisco business unit at DNH consists of uh, myself, Bruna, Bertil, and Joe. Um, all of us, or a good amount of us, three of us, come from Cisco. So myself, coming from the Cisco Canada team, being 3-4 years of experience on the channel and sales side. Bruna as well, who you can see on the presentation, also coming from the Cisco team in Canada. And we have some international experience with Bertil coming from the Cisco team in South Africa with 11 years of technical experience there. And Joe, we have who has a wealth of experience working across many different distributors and distribution teams. Um, so a lot of former Cisco and distribution experience on our business unit. And we're all super excited to kind of help grow your Cisco business. We offer things like for your networking and Meraki business, we're actively doing a lot of different trials, surveys, and as well as collaboration. You're going to see with Nikki's presentation, we're very actively involved in that segment as well, and we're super excited to deliver this to you today. And I'm going to go ahead and pass it off to Nikki. So slide number 3.
Thanks, Sam. Hi, everyone. Good morning for the Pacific time zone and good afternoon for Eastern and Central and Mountain time. My name is Nikki. I'm your speaker for today. I'm from Cisco collaboration team. I handle all the collaboration business with regards to telephony, cloud or on-prem, video devices, conferencing solution, which will be our topic for today, and also contact center. I support the team across Canada. And this is something that I would share more information on what's happening when it comes to the future of workplaces. And if you have any questions, feel free to just chat on the Q&A box, and the team would be happily to answer any of your questions as we go on to this session. So before I jump into my presentation, let me just go ahead and do a quick survey here. I just want to, get a hold or gist of, your knowledge of the Cisco collaboration here in Canada, and how much do you know about Cisco collaboration, so I can basically tailor fit my presentation for everyone today. So feel free to um, provide your input here from scale 1 to 5. 5 is the highest. All right, so we have 5 out of 27 submitted. Awesome. Okay, we have at least 70% of attendees are already submitted their answers here. 85%, maybe 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let me just do next. All right, so we have a bunch of mix of answers here. We have number 1, which is the lowest, which is 34%. Well, I would say that's good in a way, because this would be like a high level overview and show you how easy it would be to sell collaboration. And this is something that customers are looking at right now, on how would be the future of workplaces would be. I would say just a small percentage would be like so familiar with collaboration. And my next question would be, Are most of you working from home, hybrid, or in office? It could be you or your customers. I just want to, get a gist of like how is the dynamics in the market, like how is your work environment at the moment? Okay, 21%. I am actually working from a hybrid kind of setup scenario. Once a week, I go to the office, and then the rest would be working from home. I love working from home. How about you, Sam?
Love working from home. It makes me appreciate the drives into the office.
Hmm.
Just listening to podcasts, music. I love it.
Yeah, I think Bruna is as well, right? Working on a hybrid environment.
No, I actually only work from home.
Oh, interesting. Awesome. I guess we have 79% of the attendee already answered, so we'll see. Oh, 56%. It's really good. Hybrid approach. And then we have working from home 21% and the office. So we really have seen a significant trend, right? The reason why I asked this question is to get a gist of like what we are seeing in the market, especially last year, where Cisco has conducted a survey across 150 employers and 500 employees on where they are right now when it comes to um, working from home, hybrid, and remote. After the pandemic, we have seen a surge of, employers mandating their employees to go back to the office, regardless if like 80% or like a fully kind of hybrid and remote environment. And this is what we see. So most of the companies today are like updating their offices just to ensure that it's actually ready, but basically it's really not. So we've seen some news across Canada where employees are holding parties, giving some free meals on a Friday because they want to like don't really mandate it, but somehow they want to attract their employees to go back to the office. But when you go to the office or go back to the office, it's not really actually ready when it comes to the workplace environment. In today's digital age, we've seen that managing workspaces for hybrid setups demands a really careful consideration of different virus components. As soon as you go into a meeting room, this is what you typically see. You can see like a PC, wireless sharing dongles and kits, which you need for wireless sharing, amplifier, or let's say a mounting a separate microphone. If your video conferencing system have a doesn't have any speakers, so you need a third party setup. So basically, what you see in front of this presentation is one of the challenges, or most customers are facing this kind of complexity challenges, not only from the user perspective, but also from the IT perspective, where they are actually having a challenges of or complexity to deploy it or maintain it at the same time. So what we are actually doing here at Cisco is to simplify the video deployments and having a single pane of glass for managing these different devices across the board, across different workplaces, which dramatically increase simplicity and minimizing the number of vendors that your customers or you as a partner would be able to sell to your customers upfront. By providing this kind of simplicity, it only means that it also provides less complex for the partners and also for the resellers as well as for your customers too. We are also dramatically providing, a simple deployment, not per days per se when it comes to the scope of work, but deploy this in a couple of hours. But also what we're doing here at Cisco is minimizing those unnecessary third-party devices, which makes up a complete room setup, but only like Cisco, and providing that or uplifting that kind of nightmare from the customers and also from the partners. Sometimes or most of the time, customers would ask more feature sets, say for example, sensors, people count, space booking, digital signage. All of this would basically incur costs if you're going with a different vendor, and providing this kind of, infrastructure would just duplicate when it comes to um, costs across the board from your proposal. And what we're doing here at Cisco is to put that in together as part of the solution, which is the Cisco collaboration video devices. And so when it comes to like Cisco collaboration standards, we provide a variety of tailored setup which actually meets the diverse operational needs of your customers, regardless if they're actually doing a hot desking kind of scenario, a traditional huddle space, or small, medium, large conference room, or if you think about like a large briefing room kind of setup or a boardroom. Some of the customers are looking for like a training setup or auditorium or even like a quiet room spaces. We are the only vendor here at Cisco that provides different use cases per your customer needs across the board, and no one can ever do that when it comes to video devices solution. So Cisco offers an extensive array of video devices designed for each and every space for your customer within the office environment. You can see here the first three items, which is the Cisco Roombar, Roombar Pro, RoomKit EQ. These are like video devices that includes the camera. It includes the speakers and also mic. You can see a navigator there, like it looks like a tablet where the users would be able to navigate on joining a meeting, looking at, sharing their screen. And this is something that they can able to connect to like an external screen that they have right now. We don't have any compatibility issue when it comes to existing screens. So regardless of the brand or if it's commercial grade, that should not be an issue. This is something that your customer can actually connect using an HDMI cable. Um, the is actually meant for small or huddle space. Roombar Pro is meant for medium, and also the RoomKit EQ is actually meant for medium to large kind of spaces. Board Pro G2, which you can see on the fourth icon, is an all-in-one solution that we have here at Cisco. Um, All-in-one, which means that it actually includes like a existing the screen in there. You don't need an external screen per se. It includes the camera, which is a dual lens. It includes the mic and also the speaker, which is already built in. You can have a multiple deployment options, which would be like a standard kind of, mounting it on the wall, or you can do a floor stand, or even you can also add a wheel-based option so your customer can actually push and pull it around different meeting rooms to save costs. We have there's what we call the Cisco RoomKit EQX, which is the flagship video conference device, which is based on the Cisco RoomKit EQ. It doesn't include external screens, so customers should provide two external screens in there, which we support from 65-inch up until to 85-inch screen. There's a couple of options that they can actually do from the deployment perspective. They can actually mount it, do a floor stand as well, or actually a wall stand. It has an amazing, speakers with 16 best array of microphones as well that are actually embedded as part of the EQX offering. Some of the customers would like to have their own personal desk or hot desking scenario. And so you can see here below that you can actually deploy a personal kind of device for each and every user, regardless if it's a quiet room or a space where it's a shared environment where people can just go into that particular desk and able to use it for a certain hour or a certain day through hot desking approach. It's an all-in-one from Desk Mini, Desk, and Desk Pro. It's like a Board Pro G2, and it allows them to actually scan a QR code using your phone that allows you to actually inherit all of your meetings on that Desk Pro, Desk, and Desk Mini. So when it comes to, or when talking about personal spaces, right, we can actually transform any desk of your customer into an efficient workspace that is remarkably pretty much straightforward. So you can see here a use case where some customers, when you go to their office, they don't have a dedicated space for an employee. So this is a use case where you can do a hot desking approach, which is a shared environment. You can see there a QR code, and that allows them to reserve it for a certain hour or a certain day. All of their contacts, calendar, meetings, which can be connected via Google or Outlook calendar will be inherited on those device like phones or even the Desk Pro. You can see there a smart room booking option, which is meant for the outside room. They can actually mount it through wall. It provides a facial recognition that indicates an automatically, an indicator whether a person is actually inside the room or not. So it provides a kind of enhanced productivity, and they're able to utilize that smart room booking system from outside. Another use cases would be a huddle room, which most of our companies today has a small or huddle room for a quick meeting. Um, Most of these are non-bookable kind of room setup where people just go inside and start their meeting or just join into a meeting regardless of what platform they use, either Microsoft, Zoom, or even Google, or even uh, Webex per se. Most of the time, they go inside into a huddle room, and then they would camp there for a specific hour or per day. But what real estate or facilities manager do in the industry is that they're actually doing like a smart room booking system just to make sure that each and every user in the company would be able to utilize it across the board of the workplaces. We have new offering today that I'm not sure if my sound is having issues. I think there's a Q&A chat that I keep losing the sound. Okay. Okay, awesome. So let me just go back to this presentation where I can see actually a Cisco room bar, which is a bring your own device kind of scenario. This is actually meant for a small spaces or huddle room. You don't need a navigator there. It's pretty much straightforward. You can see a USB-C cable that allows each and every user of the company to actually attach it into their current existing laptop that allows them to join from their laptop. So it's pretty much straightforward. It's the cheapest solution that we have in the market when it comes to the bring your own device kind of small spaces environment. There's also like spaces where they want something like an open space where people just go into a space where they want to be productive and they want to do a whiteboarding session, be more collaborative. In that sense, we have the Board Pro solution that allows them to do this, where they can actually join a meeting or any kind of meeting platform. They would be able to do a whiteboarding session at the same time. People on these kind of use cases sometimes has like a lot of distraction, right? Like people roaming around on noise background. And that's something that we suppress from an environment where people can actually enjoy a distraction free kind of meeting or on a collaborative open spaces. We have what we call the meeting zones where the user can actually define which space on that environment will capture the audio or even the video. You can see like a dual camera lenses in that where people just go and do a digital whiteboarding regardless of what kind of whiteboarding would be, either Microsoft Teams whiteboarding. We support that today. Let me show you a quick video demo of the Board Pro G2.
Hello and welcome to this high-level and quick Board Pro demo. Now, this is the Cisco Board Pro 75-inch version. We do also offer this in a 55-inch form factor as well. And with that comes all these standard experiences that you would get with any other device in our portfolio. And that is in the context of joining meetings, first of all. So of course, we do support that really fantastic one button to push. And from there, we also allow for that ad hoc join, not just in Webex, but that Microsoft Teams, Zoom, Google Meet. And as a third avenue of joining into meetings, we also have this 9-meter or 30-foot long USB-C cable that allows for USB-C pass-through amongst other functionalities. So being able to bring your own device, start the meeting from your laptop, and then pulling the cameras, speakers, and microphones from these devices, and they turn into webcams on steroids because we're still able to leverage all the intelligence that's built into the devices and the hardware, even via that cable. Now, as we move forward and I open up our whiteboarding functionality, this allows me to also break down some of the technical specs that are built into this device. Now, we have a dual camera setup here with the wide angle and far end zoom, making this really flexible in the sense that we can deploy this in this open settings, as well as a standard meeting room with that far end zoom. Now, with that in mind, we also have support for things like a table navigator, so I can connect this to the device. So in those standard meeting rooms, no need to kind of stand up and interact with the board, just to simply control your calls. I can have all the control for my joining calls, ending, volume control, and all that good stuff straight from the navigator at the table. Now, other things to mention here is, of course, what we also have written down. So a 3-channel front-facing speaker system, making for really fantastic audio, as well as 12 microphones that are built into the tops and the sides of this device. And that doesn't mean we don't have the possibility for an additional microphones as well. So we also have inputs for 2 microphone jacks, and they're just standard microphone jacks as well. So for table or ceiling microphones, we also do support that, especially as I mentioned, in those larger spaces or the standard meeting room settings. Now, as I swipe up and bring us to our home page, as we go to our second page here, what we see here is some of the web apps, and that is thanks to the web engine built into these devices. Now, web apps include everything from other productivity tools like Miro, even things like Microsoft Whiteboards on a Cisco device. That's absolutely possible. And what web apps are, if I were to really simplify this, is if it exists as a web page, and it can exist as a web app. So, of course, Microsoft Office, Miro, even things like Project Workplace websites, as long as it has that HTTPS, then we can have it as a really convenient button on that homepage and allow for end users to leverage all these different productivity tools and websites. Now, bringing us back to the homepage one last time, of course, we have additional integrations for things like ServiceNow or just simple ticketing solutions. And on top of that, even these devices can exist in perhaps maybe your main lobby areas in kiosk mode. So where you can have really curated experiences, but not maybe open this up for customers or end users just to kind of navigate through all the other menu options. So you can lock it in this screen. As I bring us back to the homepage, that is it for the Board Pro in this demo. I hope it excites you as much as it excites me.
Awesome. So again, there's 2 options for a Board Pro. We have 55-inch version and 75-inch large screen that comes with it. That's something that you can extend for mic coverage. We can put an external mic and also room navigator. You can see as part of the demo, there is an option to do a wireless screen sharing through AirPlay if you have an Apple products, or if you have a Windows products, phone or laptop, then that's something that you can actually do a wireless screen sharing via Miracast. So let me just go into a next use cases in here. So most of the companies today have like kind of training room or an area where they would be able to conduct like a presenter and some audience. It could be a variety of use cases where it could be a scenario from a university or school, or something like a private sector where they actually hold like an all hands kind of scenario where each and every office are connected and able to do like kind of a presenter and audience kind of setup. And this is one of the use cases that we do using an EQX, which is our flagship offering. You put a 4K PTZ camera where it captures the presenter at the front. It allows to do speaker tracking and audience tracking, which means that if someone at the front actually speaks from the presenter mode, then that would be captured from the camera. You can see there another screen has been connected to, which allows the speaker and also the audience see the far end, people joining from remote. You can also see where that PTZ 4K camera would be able to capture the audience side if someone is actually, raised their hand or, has some questions. The audience would be captured either from the front camera or at the side of the camera, whichever works for that kind of design. Um, I wanted to share this kind of, setup where we have what we call the room navigator. This is something that you can mount outside of the room. Sometimes there are rooms that you don't need video devices at all, but there are use cases where organizations want to place a room booking system there for them to reserve it for a certain kind of meeting setup. And this is something that you can also do without any video devices inside, just room navigator inside. You can customize and do a branding approach like a logo. There would be an indicator for that room navigator where you would be able to see as a user if it's available or not, like it actually lights up into green if it's available, or if it's red if it's actually reserved for a certain day. As a user too, you would be able to ad hocly reserve it on the spot if you see an available room. And sometimes most of the challenges today where facilities managers wanted to track if someone is actually is, just book a meeting room but didn't show up. So this is like one of the challenges that most of the customers that we have has, and they don't have any way to actually release that room. So what happens with this navigator is you can actually set it up where if there is a ghost meeting scenario where the user didn't show up, it would release automatically so people can actually use it. This is one of the newest edition of ceiling microphone that we have here in the market. This is the sought after kind of microphone because one, it's actually ceiling, so you don't need any mics on the table, which provides a clutter-free kind of environment, which most of the customers really, really like. It's actually IP based. It has adaptive beamforming. It's something that you can connect via PoE back to the codec, which is could be EQ or Bar Pro, and that's something that is purposely built for all kind of room sizes. It's a plug and play, which is really really good, and also it's self configuration, which means that if a customer would set this up in their space like a boardroom setup, and the next day they wanted like a training room environment, you as a partner or like the customer doesn't need to really configure the microphone according to its setup because it would allow to adapt what kind of environment on that meeting room. It has a great coverage because the pickup range would be like 4 meters like radius. So it's really, really amazing for a large boardroom. You just like need 2 to 3 ceiling mics in that sense. AI has been a buzzword in the industry, and most of our customers are looking like ways on how to utilize AI in their work environment. And the good thing is, Cisco Collaboration has been doing a lot of AI capabilities around video devices, video conferencing solution across collaboration suite like telephony and even contact center for years already. And we have providing a lot of capabilities regardless if what kind of meeting platform your customer is using today. You can see there where the camera has intelligence on counting the number of people in the room. There is like an adaptive beamforming on those microphones, facial recognition. So those cameras would recognize who is the active speakers and would allow to focus on that person. We support frames camera intelligence. If those people are in the boardroom, we can slice and dice each participant in that room for them to be focused on a standalone frame, we can support up to a maximum of 4. Of course, we are the best in the market when it comes to voice, noise removal or noise suppression. And that's something that your customer can use regardless if they're using Microsoft Teams, Google, Zoom, or even Webex. Let me show you a real
Ever feel like you have the worst seat in the meeting? I feel like no one can really hear or see me. Can we fix that? That's better.
I would love to have a camera right there. Nope. Let's put it up there.
And can we get intelligent audio so that everyone in the room can be heard?
What about framing so these side conversations don't get lost in the noise?
Agreed. Amazing.
And maybe it could all be directed like a movie in real time so that everyone on the call feels like they're in the room and part of the conversation.
It would be amazing if I could stand and move around the room while I talk. I could go through our latest pitch or market forecast, and nothing would be missed, not even if I spin dramatically and look right there.
All right, so that's what we call the cinematic meetings. Most of the time, like if you are on a large boardroom and you have like a lot of people in there, like 20 to 30 seats, and most of the people or some people won't be able to be recognized by the camera, or they won't be heard by the far end participants, right? Because you have not a good speaker, you don't have a good camera in that sense. And most of the time, like the most important person or like employee are actually seated at the last end of the table, which is like the vice president, president, or the CEO. And this is the most important person that needs to be captured by voice and also camera. And so what we built here in Cisco is what we call the cinematic meetings. We have a design that allows you to place multiple cameras and a great microphone. So each and every persona in that boardroom will be heard by the far end people joining remote. Let me show you a quick demo on what are the features and capabilities of this kind of cinematic meetings that allows you to really propose this kind of solution for your customers who has a large boardroom setup.
Hi, and welcome to Oslo.
Right now, our camera mode is set to group, but for this setup, we can do better. If we enable frames, you can see all of us a lot more clearly.
This looks great, but hey, let's switch back to speaker mode again. The core needs in meetings are simple. You want to see who you're talking to, see reactions, understand situational context, and also feel like you're part of the discussion.
Multiple cameras will help you feel like you're part of the conversation, even if it's happening across the table.
In this room, we have a setup with 3 cameras. With multiple cameras and our AI director, we ensure the best view in any moment. There's no bad seat at this table.
Now let's explore a different camera experience and hand it over to our next presenter.
In this conference room, we have enabled meeting zones. With meeting zones, we can define the active meeting area, making sure that only the stars of the show are the ones seen on the call.
Now let's disable meeting zones and zoom out. This glass wall is a standard setup for meeting rooms here in Oslo. And as you can see, we have some aliens trying to join in on this demo. Now, let's enable frames again. This shows the standard view without the meeting zone. Pretty scary. However, when we activate meeting zones once more, we clear away all of the distractions.
And changing a meeting zone is easy. We simply draw an outline of the attendees we want to capture. In this view, it's easy to see those who are outside the defined space versus those who are in the meeting. Now, let's have a look at what's next for the long boardrooms.
Welcome to our camera lab here in Oslo, where we trial and test different meeting room scenarios. Our current setup is replicating our Cisco boardroom.
The camera view is pretty good now, but what happens when someone at the back of the table speaks up?
So I'm sitting over 10 meters away from the camera, and this is how close the quad camera can capture me. It works, but it's not boardroom quality. But what happens if we add an additional dedicated camera for people sitting further away? Let's enable it. Well, that's better. By adding an additional camera, we can enable extended reach speaker mode. So even people sitting at the end of the table get a good crop. Everyone deserves to be represented in high quality video, regardless of where they choose to sit.
Alien, takeover, demo.
Guys, it looks like we're getting visitors from outer space. Back to you.
That's really a great demo. I really, really love it. You can see how the camera angles are projected to each and every speaker in the room, regardless where you are actually seated. And even on the last seat at the table, where you have a large table, there's a way for us to capture it by adding additional camera in there. So when it comes to, embedded AI capabilities into those cameras, into those devices, our devices has a very powerful processor, which we have partnered with NVIDIA to provide an advancement on an AI-powered platform. So it's really a strategic move where it has been there, or the partnership has been there since 2015. It allows to provide a very powerful kind of solution that allows your customer to have a TCO. Most of our devices really, really work for more than like 7 years. I've seen some customer who still uses it up until 10 years. And this is something that we are far best from our competitor in the market when it comes to the video devices collaboration solution. So before I proceed to the next presentation, or to my next slide, I just wanted to get another poll or survey here in this group. So I just want to get information like from your customers perspective, when you're talking to the customers, what kind of meeting platforms are they actually using today? Based on what I've seen in the market, most of your customers, or most of the customers, are really using Microsoft Teams, but sometimes there are also customers who are using really Webex, or sometimes they have a backup solution like Zoom, because it has been there since pandemic time and they've been using it with a different department. Some school board are using Google as well. So I just want to, understand the dynamics of your customer today and how you can really position well Cisco collaboration to your customers. So we have 26% attendees who has already submitted. Let's just give a couple of minutes here. I don't see any questions so far, but if there's any questions, feel free to use the Q&A chat box. We have Sam, Bruna, and the other team members from DNH who will be happily to address any questions that you have on the presentation. All right, let's make it 50%, and we'll just check how it looks like from the survey. Okay, so most of the customers are really using Microsoft Teams, right, across the board here in Canada. And I've seen that in the market too, where most customers now, are really using Microsoft Teams as their main platform. And so we've also seen 85% of the customers today has a backup solution like Zoom, Webex, or Google in case Microsoft Teams is down. And that's pretty much normal within your customers. And so we have a solution where it comes to, we meet the expectations of your customers, where they can actually utilize their current meeting platforms to join to the device of their choice, right? And we have a partnership with Microsoft. Today, it has been a long partnership since a couple of years now. We support Microsoft Teams room experience. If your customer really, really loves to have a layout or experience of Microsoft Teams, we offer this as part of our solution across all our devices. But if your customer is having a multiple kind of platform, like they use Webex sometimes, Zoom, Google or Microsoft Teams, we have what we call the Cisco Rooms experience that allows them to join back to back any kind of meetings without configuring or rebooting the device. So I would say this is one of the differentiators that we have out there in the market, where you don't need to reconfigure everything in order for you to join different kind of meeting platforms, and you have one button to join, which allows the customer to have a great experience when joining the meeting. So why Cisco? What's your advantage over like the other competitors out there in the market? Well, I would say we are the best interrupt in the market, where we don't do a direct guest join. It's a native solution that allows your customers to use any meeting platforms like Microsoft. We simplify the room design, which means that most customers challenges today is a lot of is going on with their room setup, where some or most of the time users are having a hard time to join a single meeting because they don't know how to use it, right? Because of those different kind of setup, which really is complicated for them to use. And so we're trying to eliminate that those kind of third party components. But it doesn't mean that if your customer has an existing microphone or speakers, we don't support those anymore. We still support this because we are an open platform. We are an open solution where it allows you to use or leverage kind of different third party solution in order for you to have a great solution. We are the only vendor that provides a complete portfolio, from small hot desking up until the boardroom or complex room. Name it, we have a solution that we provide. Other vendors would only have a small, medium, large kind of room setup, but Cisco can do everything when it comes to the different kind of use cases. Again, we have partnership with NVIDIA, so we've been doing a lot of AI capabilities that your customer can enjoy. Once this video device is actually running on our cloud data center, then they can actually enjoy whatever new AI capabilities that we onboarded for our customers. We are the far best when it comes to the leading management platform. We call it the Control Hub, that allows you and your customer to manage these devices on a one single pane of glass. You can see the users there, you can see the utilization, you can see those devices if they're working or not. You can troubleshoot as well. And this is something that you can utilize as well, not only on the video devices, but also on the telephony and also the contact center as well. Of course, we have the best industry when it comes to the support, and investment protection is actually there. When it comes to our video devices, I would really assure that we have a good track record of having a good lifespan cycle when it comes to our video devices. Again, we are far the number one in the market when it comes to the device management platform. We call it the Control Hub. Your the IT or your customers or even yourself can be added into this as part of the external administrator. You can see everything here from the device management. You can see the statistics. You can see if it's actually online or offline, if there's something wrong. You can see each and every device, each and every user's, which room is it, which location. You have a one single pane of glass where you can also see the diagnostic, how people are utilizing each and every workspace, which is also a benefit for IT, and or also facilities manager would be able to see if what they have invested is something that people are utilizing inside their organization. When it comes to setting this up into like an MTR, Microsoft Teams Admin Center, or even to the Control Hub, these are the different features that your customer would have the capability on. If they want to set this up, or each and every device is something that they want to register as part of the Microsoft Teams Admin Center, that's not a problem at all. But when it comes to like environmental, macros, integration, analytics, Microsoft Teams are limited into that on their admin center, but you have an option to actually dual register it into the Teams admin center at the same time, do it on the Control Hub as part of the MTR mode. That allows each and every customer of yours to see the inventory, those configuration in the one single pane of glass management portal. All of these devices are not just, camera or speaker and mic, but it's more than that. So like Meraki, video devices in our portfolio has sensor as well. It's your sensor, it's your customer sensor that allows you to pull data like people count. It actually provides presence. It provides ambient noise if it's too noisy, if it's too loud. It also provides asset location, temperature, and humidity. It's something that a traditional space or environment would not be able to provide. And this is something that your customer can leverage and, turn their traditional floor plan into an intuitive 3D rich maps, as we call it, Cisco Spaces. Again, this is not something that just pretty straightforward solution. It's more than what we can offer in the market. It provides sensor. You can also make it a digital signage where customers will not use it for a certain hour or day. They can ingest like content in order for them to broadcast like news or, any birthdays. And that is something that they can project into their screens using these video devices. Room integrations is also possible. We have a bunch of partner ecosystem that allows you to integrate. We have a developer site. You can create macros on these devices where some customers wanted to have an automation as part of their room, like very fancy kind of setup where they want to turn on their lights, their blinds through one button. And that's something that you can do into the devices as well. Of course, management, whiteboarding, and content sharing is also part of the solution as well. The next gen smart spaces for workplaces offers really a comprehensive approach. Now, when we talk about the future of workspaces, this is what we see. This is what customers are asking, like digital signage, where it actually helps employees to search for a room, locate where is the meeting room, and it's a 3D maps where they can be navigated from one location to another, especially if it's a large building, right? It allows them to see an indoor way mapping or wayfinding where they can actually navigate from their phone, reserve the desk, reserve the meeting room, even if they're just commuting, going into, to the office, and that's allowing them to reserve the room ahead of time without, any having a challenges to call someone or, reach out to like your facilities to reserve on your behalf. Space utilization, analytics, everything can be seen there as part of the Control Hub environment where everything is being consolidated. You can see all the environmental metrics, which I shared, like the data of people count, those temperature, humidity, those information are present as part of the Control Hub. And of course, sustainability. You wanted to be aware, or your customer wanted to be aware of what's happening on their environment, and that's something that's visible as well on the Control Hub. Let me show you one single video here.
Hi there. I'm an IT director for a big company. It's a really big company. Trust me. About a month ago, our CIO asked me to source a smart workspace solution that could create the office of tomorrow. And after a, somewhat collaborative brainstorming session with all the department heads, we agreed that the office of tomorrow would actually need all of this. And they would love to have it, literally, tomorrow. So as I was hiding under my desk asking, why me? I remembered a video I saw a while back for Cisco Spaces. A totally smart, smart office solution because it uses our existing Cisco network as the sensors. So there's no shadow networks or gateways to install.
It's just me.
So after sneaking into my boss's office and stealing back my resignation letter, I contacted Cisco. Spaces was so easy to set up. I uploaded a CAD file of the floor plan, located the first access point on the map, and like magic, the rest of the access points auto-populate. Next, I mounted and activated the sensors that now pre-integrate to my network.
And we became the office of tomorrow,
Literally yesterday.
Location services, check. Indoor maps, check. IoT, check. Facility measures air quality. Real estate sees occupancy. And IT can help find lost devices like Kyle's laptop.
And is there anything cooler than this wayfinding map and app for hybrid workers? No, there isn't, because it's the coolest thing. I know. I had this whole system up and running in less than a month, and at half the budget. My boss was so happy he gave me a thank you balloon. But it's the thank yous from all around the office that really matter. You're welcome. Did you say? They said thank you. I heard them. They were like, you're so great. For more info and all the amazing things you can do with Cisco Spaces, go to spaces.cisco.com.
I really love that video. But we'll share this content after this session today. So you get that video, and you can also look that up into the ciscospaces.com website. All right, so this is how it looks like when it comes to the Cisco Spaces. It elevates like an intelligent workspaces scenario for each and every offices across Canada for your customer. Whatever that they have, like CAD file of their floor plan, you can actually upload that into the system, and it turns into like a 3D rich maps where users can actually do on a centralized location, like the Board Pro, which is like a touch board. They can definitely see all the meeting rooms in that location. And they would be able to reserve different kind of meeting room setup. They would be able to see which room are available, and they can actually reserve it or hold it for a certain couple of minutes. And we have, a wayfinding solution as well as part of this that would allow to locate where they are right now and allows them to navigate from one location to another. So everything here uses the data as part of, Meraki or also video devices that are present in order for you to locate these different meeting rooms. So I'm not an expert. I'm new to selling Cisco video devices. I don't know how to recommend the best solution. How can I sell? It's not a problem at all. We have what we call the Workspace Designer. Even like salespeople like me, or even, not technical person, would be able to navigate this design your workspace kind of, website. It's open for customers and also like partners like you, and you can navigate to this Workspace Designer. It has been really, really successful. We had a great feedback about this website that allows to, go in front of your customers, talk to them, ask questions about the room layout, what would be the experience that they like. And that's something that would be able to allow you to create the solution when it comes to the workspace. So let me share my screen really, really quick and, demo and show you what the Workspaces environment is. Okay. So I believe everyone can actually see my screen right now. So we are here at the webex.com Workspaces Designer link. I'll let DNH and the team, we'll share this to you after this session so you can start to play around. So basically, Design Your Workspace allows you to go ahead and design the room setup, and it allows you to actually have a summary of the proposed solution and the bill of materials. So you can see here each and every use cases like huddle, small room, medium room, executive boardroom, and even like a training room setup or even auditorium. But let me just go ahead and have an example of a large boardroom setup. You can actually click here. one of the things that you have to ask your customer is what is the room size, like the width, the length, the height, and that's something that you can actually define in here, like the length of the space, and that allows you to really capture like the measurements of their entire room, right? And you can click next. You can actually select what table they have, if it's rectangular, U-shaped kind of table, and you can like also define how many people are seated in that room. Like, is it a 20-seater kind of, a room, or let's say 18? Um, as soon as you define this kind of measurements, it would actually provide you like tips on what would be the best practice and recommendation. If you have a new space and it doesn't have any furniture, you can also recommend what kind of furniture you can would be optimal for that room size. You can define table width, the distance between the seats, and you can go here and allow you to really propose if your customers are on a Microsoft Teams room setup or just Cisco room, where if you don't know what it means, then you can actually hover it up, and it would show you what is an MTR basically. So aside from that, you can also click on the left hand side, like what's the in room view, like the person sitting inside the room, what would be the experience look like, what's the camera angle from the camera alone, how, like what's the coverage, like you would be able to see the entire measurement, and allow you to see the full view. And this is pretty new, like you would be able to see the cable map. So this is really good for for technical, or even me as a salesperson. I was really surprised with this update. Pretty much recently I was actually doing a demo like last week. We have updated it where you can see how the setup would be from the cablings, like the power, what's the network look like, HDMI or USB-C. So you have all this visibility. Even you're alone or you don't have any technical, SE, you would be able to, navigate this in front of your customers. And you would be able to see the camera, like what's the coverage up until, where is the camera angle gonna reach, if it's gonna cover everything up until to the last person seated at the end of the table. And also like the microphone coverage, so it allows you to really see, if you have a table microphone here, which is like 4 table microphone, you would be able to see like which coverage are would be able, if it suffice or not when it comes to the audio. And of course, when it comes to the display, which you can also define here, you would be able to see like the coverage of this display, if it's optimal, in that aspect for that room. And at the end of the day, you can see which would be the recommended solution. Like basically in this kind of large room, we have the EQ, EQX, and RoomKit Pro. You can have multiple options here. You can actually go next, and you can select dual display or single display, what's the screen size, the mount height, how you deploy it. So I really, really love this, designer. You can see and have a summary of everything and get the blueprint. So, and this is something that pretty much detailed, and I really love this, sharing to customers and also the partners. All right, I think we're almost top of the hour. So we have a modern workspace customer incentive that allows you to get more money. So we have what we call the assessment incentive for our partners. For each and every customers that you assess, which makes up to 100K list price, not discounted price, you can actually register that deal. And once you receive the approval, you get a certain amount of money, like 7,500 USD. You just need to be certified and have, a specialization when it comes to collaboration. And if you have questions about specialization, We have Sam and Bruna to, discuss on how to get specialized. Okay, video must win in the front door. So when you have the video devices as a win opportunity to your customers, it's gonna be something that would grow big. I have customers where it started with Meraki and then we offer video devices as well. It turns out that they want thousand eyes and also security, and it's gonna be a big opportunity. Cisco video devices is a fast selling cycle where I have a customer asking it, I need it like next month or on the next 3 months. Um, and that's something that most of the customers today across Canada really, really need a good solution when it comes to the video devices offering. We have an NFR promotion at the moment for those partners that want to test it. They want to have it on their, office setup too. We have an NFR too. But if you want to have, like, if you want to speak to a customer and they want a demo, we have different, hybrid work studio in Toronto office. We have office in Vancouver as well. Reach out to me or to the DNH if you need something. We can also see the device. We can have a try and buy program as well, which allows your customers to test it for the first 90 days, and they can actually return it without getting them an invoice if they want to make sure that it would work. So we position the try and buy for customers who are 80% sold with a solution, but they just want to try it first. And of course, my last slide, if you need help, feel free to reach out to the DNH team, Sam and Bruna, myself. If you want to get a trial, if you want to get certified, if you want to get a session for your team, then I'm happy to do so. If you want to bring us into your customer meeting, we are happy to support you for any bids, demo, quotations. Feel free to reach out. I'll pass it on to Bruna to close this out. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Nikki. So as Sam mentioned at the beginning, my name is Bruna Verperian, and I'm your Cisco sales specialist here at DNH. I'm here to support you from your day-to-day transactions to now the new Cisco 360 program journey. I'm also the French resource alongside my technical support, Bertil, and I do recommend you to leverage our team, especially Bertil, and bring him on your customer calls. He can help you really uncover potential uncovering selling opportunities and on help on those needs of the customer, but help you better understand your customer needs. So don't hesitate to reach out to our team at ciscocanada@dnh.com. I believe you can find the slides of our team on the resource section of this webinar. I believe you can download it to keep it handy. And yeah, I wanted to thank you all for attending this webinar, and a special thank you to you, Nikki. This was amazing content. Thank you for all the demos. This was great. And if we don't have any questions that we can address, we'll be closing out this webinar. We wish you all a great rest of your day. And thank you so much for your continued support. Thank you.